Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live seminar hosted by the Bilingual Education and Multicultural Office here at NCCU. My name is Anthony P., and I am the host of today's workshop. Unfortunately, the first part of the workshop did not record, so I'm going to present that for you now. Then the video will go into the live recording. This seminar has two main sections. Section 1, how to write a resume, and Section 2, how to interview for a job, both in English. I hope you find the content informative and useful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and someone will reply. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy this live seminar. Here's the lesson plan for the resume and CV portion of this workshop. We're going to talk about CVs and resumes, resume templates, before making your resume, section of a resume format, strong resume example. So let's start with CV versus resume. So let's first talk about their length. CVs can be longer. They can be very, very long, actually, several pages in length, especially if you are a long-term academic researcher. Resumes are usually shorter, about 1 to 2 pages, depending on your industry. The contents of a CV, this is your detailed information about your education, research, publication, and conferences. The purpose, CVs are for academic and research positions. Resumes are for job applications in various fields. So most people in the world will write resumes and not CVs. CV focus is a comprehensive overview of qualifications, and a resume is tailored to the specific job roles and requirements. Sections of a CV, education, research, publications, awards, and skills. Resumes, contact information, education, languages, work experience, skills, achievements. Obviously, they're going to have a lot that overlap. Photographs. CVs often include professional photos. For resumes, photographs are very common in Asia, and they're less common in countries like the USA. So check with the country and the cultural norm of the place that you want to apply. CVs, international usage. They're common in Europe, Asia, and other regions, and resumes are just in general, much more widely available. Customization. CVs are generally less customizable. There's kind of a standard format that everyone likes to see, but for resumes, they are highly customizable, which means there's not one perfect looking resume. You adapt the style of your resume to the job that you are applying for. Okay, let's go to Classroom Antony. If you go to Google Docs, you will see templates like this. Most of them are fine. I think none of them are perfect. I think they're okay. I think you can make a lot of adjustments. What we see here, we'd see all things have big name at the top. Write your name in big letters at the top. It's expected. Contact information, contact information, contact information. You don't need to read the details. It's all Latin. There is no details in these, so just look at the structure. Photo, no photo, photo. Skills at the top for all of them. I don't think that's for a student. I don't think you need skills at the top. You're not very skilled. You're a student. You don't have years of experience to be skillful. You have enough knowledge, but you're not advanced. So for me, I've been working for 10 years. I now have skills that put me above my education, because my education was 10 years ago. So perhaps my skills would be at the top. Experience, 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 education, 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 awards, projects, awards, languages. That's about it. One of these has 2 columns. This one has 2 columns, but 1 column of information. This one only has 1 column. So you see they're separated differently. I do not like this one. This is too much blank space. Where does you squeeze everything to the side? I don't know why, but this is a template. I like this, I like this. Most students do this. I don't know why. I've done this for about 160 students. Almost every student does something like this with 2 columns. I give them freedom, and they all do this. Fine. It's fine. I have no problems. But let's talk about the details. Resumes do not have one best template. before making your resume, this is where we discover things about ourselves and our career path. How do you want to represent yourself? What are your most relevant qualifications? What is the position looking for? And what keywords do you need to use? Let's talk about all of these. Let's start with the first one. How do you want to represent yourself? Companies and schools don't have time to meet every applicant. You will apply for many jobs. You will not meet the company every time. Your resume represents you as a professional and as a person. Does your resume represent you as organized, detail-oriented, a good communicator? A good resume will have these. Good resumes mean you are a good communicator. Good resumes mean you are detail-oriented. Yeah? If you make big mistakes on a resume, you're going to make mistakes on everything else in the company. Yeah? This is a test. It's a test. What are your most relevant qualifications? Your resume only needs relevant history, jobs, internships, education. Anthony, I don't have any internships and any jobs. Education, relevant classes, clubs, scholarships, big projects, those all count. Expand on them. Your resume only needs the relevant functions. So here we have an example, okay? We have the title, so Tutor of Academic English Writing. I used an example from my life. And then I wrote here, so I'm tutoring. Produce, tutor students, faculty and staff, lead weekly academic arguments, writing workshop, play on the staff basketball team. Is playing on the staff basketball team a relevant job function? So I see a lot of no's. Can anybody say yes, and why? Why would playing on the staff basketball team be a relevant job function? Yeah, so collaboration, cooperation, teamwork, you're invested in your colleagues. Shows a lot. Do you go to work and you leave, or do you go to work and do you build relationships? Yeah? This shows that you are a relationship builder. 95% of the time, don't put the basketball on your resume. But in some cases, if you're going to a very social company, and that environment is what the company has, this makes you more interesting. So you have to look at the job, look at the company, look at the culture, then adjust your resume. Yeah? Use numbers and data to show qualifications. Great. Supervise 20 full-time staff members. Weak. Supervise full-time staff members. When I grade resumes, I just circle information and say data, question mark, data, question mark, all over. It is a common mistake to not put data. Even if it's one, supervised one full-time staff member. That's clear communication. Yeah? Clear communication is data. Great, managed an $850,000 USD budget, managed the budget. If you say manage the budget, I assume $10. Yeah? I assume the lowest number. Because you're not a good communicator, I assume you're not going to be managing a good budget as well. Yeah? Data, data, data. So 1 done, 2 done. Number 3. What keywords do you need to use? And I say need. Need. It's not optional. You have to make your resume keyword searchable. Oh, sorry about that. A computer will likely read your resume before a human does. Computers will scan your resume for keywords. If your resume does not have the keywords that the company is looking for, you will not move on to the next stage. So it's not a choice. To find the right keywords, use the language written in the job description verbatim. What does verbatim mean? Word for word. Copy, paste. Use their language in your resume. Job description, but also the company website. Let's do an example. If we have in the job description responsibilities, supervision training, supervise student staff, resident assistants, la 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 la. Example resume, resident coordinator, internship, yada yada yada. Here we have supervised, supervise, not advised, Supervised. I know there's a difference. Sometimes you're an advisor, sometimes you're a supervisor. So maybe don't change that word, but be specific. Resident assistants, resident assistants. In America, this is commonly called an RA. They did not write RA. What did they write? Resident assistant. Use the word. They did write RHA. RHA. Commonly referred to as Resident Housing Association. Did they write Resident Housing Association? No, they did not. So we write what they write. You guys get it. Cool. Last one. What is the position looking for? Consider putting your most relevant qualifications at the top of your resume. Does your resume need to be chronological order, where your most recent job is first? It does not. It does not. Give them easy access. If I'm applying for an English teacher position, I may want to put my tutoring experience above my research paper editing experience. Tutoring is teaching. Editing is not teaching. So, flip. Totally fine. Give the search committee easy access to the information they are looking for. There's a very common theme in academic English and in business English especially. Don't waste people's time. Don't repeat words. Make sentences clear and concise. Use data. Don't waste people's time. This is how we value their time. Okay? Cool. I think if you took these 4 points, if you look at your resume right now, you would make adjustments, pretty big adjustments already. You know, how am I representing myself? Well, probably not very good. Maybe very good. I don't know. Do you need a unique resume for each application? Yes, raise your hand. See? Why didn't you guys raise your hand before? That's a clear question. Okay, a lot of yeses. No. Raise your hand. Maybe? Raise your hand. The answer is maybe, probably not. If I'm applying for 10 English teacher positions, they probably have the same keywords. Yeah? 10 high school English teacher in Taipei. They probably have similar keywords. I think I gave that example. If you adjust your resume when the job you're applying for is looking for experience in something that is listed further down on your resume. Sure, it's a good point. Any questions so far? Should feel pretty easy. Cool. Sections of a resume. Your header, the top. Name, location, contact info. Consider adding languages, nationality, and languages, date of birth, a clear business professional photo. I have almost all of these on mine. It depends on who you are. It depends on where you're living. I'm a foreigner in Taipei. My location is very important. I'm not in Ohio. I'm in Taipei, and I can have coffee with you tomorrow. Yeah? My location is very important. If you have a Taiwanese name, they know you're in Taiwan, probably, right? They're going to assume you're local. So I have Anthony Parnagoni living in Taipei, phone number, email address, USA citizen. Older people in Taiwan care about what a native English-speaking country is, so this is for them. Native speaker of English, date of birth. Why is date of birth important? Most of the time it's not. Why is it important for me? Am I older than you thought I was? Am I younger than you thought I was? Yeah? How old did you think I was? Don't answer that. I'm teaching business English. I'm teaching academic English. Would you trust a 20-year-old to come in here and teach you business English? No, you wouldn't trust a 20-year-old. I don't look 20, but I look a little young. Yeah? I put my age so people know that I've had time to work in international companies. I've had time to learn about these things. Yeah? If you're young and you're a student, it's assumed you're young. So maybe you don't put it doesn't matter as much. Yes?
Thank you for putting that as an example, because some people, when they hear or they read location, they actually write down their address, their home address. So
Yeah.
it's totally different. So that's will make a difference. Are there any
Yeah, you can put your actual address, but I think that's silly. It opens you up to more discrimination. Like, oh, they live in this part of town. We need wealthy people. What, like it doesn't make sense to me. So putting living in Taipei, living in Wenshan, living in, doesn't matter. I think it makes sense. This is one of those things where it's not common, but it shows you're a good communicator. So none of the templates will say this, but this shows that I'm a good communicator. How many Americans are applying for teaching positions in Taipei? A lot. How many of them are here? Very few. So I'm separating myself from the other applicants at the top of my resume. Easy access. They want to know where am I. Yeah. Full name in large font at the top, location, contact info, nationality and language, date of birth, a clear business professional photo. A clear business professional photo, take a look at your student ID card right now, throw that away, never use it again. None of you look like yourself. I get my class roster where I see the name and the photo, and then I show up on the first day and everyone is different. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the lighting, if it's Photoshop, if it's age, no idea.
stress?
Don't edit your photo. If I see a photo that looks like this and I show up and I look like you've catfished me, right? You're lying on your application. Don't lie on your application. Does the photo look like you? If I were hiring people, this would be disqualifying. I would say, why did you lie about what you looked like? You know you don't look like that. You know what you look like. Yeah? I'm also from America. We don't have this problem as much. So it's different. In America, people often do not put a photo on their resume. This is because it opens the applicant up to discrimination. Check with the culture norms of the company you are applying for. Cool tip. Education history. For new graduates, put your education history at the top of your resume. Your education is the most important. Yeah? Unless you have a really, really, really cool job experience that no one else has, put your education first. Include degree name, GPA, school name, dates, location, GPA if your GPA is good. Let's put that. Keep it simple. Bachelor's of Science in Psychology. University of California, this is fake. GPA, date. Master's of Science in TESOL Education, University of Tokyo, GPA, date. Everything you need. Right there, easy. I don't think you should put your university on top unless you're at one of the top 10 schools in the world. Harvard University should go at top. We don't go to Harvard. Nobody goes to Harvard. That's why Harvard would go at top, right? I don't think it's that important. Masters of Science, good. There's a couple different ways you could write this. Alternative format, MS, Business Administration, Master of Science, BS, Mechanical Engineering. But you see I kept the bottom the same. Some people will write National Taiwan University, NTU, and then write NCCU. In Taiwan, these abbreviations are known and common. In America, there's like 3 UDs, 3 UCs, 5 UTs. Yeah? Taiwan is smaller, so you have less schools, so everyone has their unique acronym. So maybe put the acronym there. If you're a student right now, perhaps you say graduation June 2028, something like that. Or graduation 2028, if you're graduating in the future. Some people write expected graduation. I think that's just too many words. So I just wrote graduation. Same thing, same meaning. Poor format, Masters of Science, Bio, NCCU Taipei, GPA, 2020 September, June 2024. It might look good when you look at it, but as soon as you read it, it's horrifying. It's really, really bad. Don't abbreviate this. Americans have no idea what NCCU is. Foreigners have no idea what the university names are. I don't think I give another example. I did not write the department. Internationally, your department is not relevant. Your degree, biology, mechanical engineering. It's not the Department of Engineering. That's not a degree. That's just like the School of Engineering. What did you do? Yeah? So department is not listed. You can, it's not common. It's not very helpful. Employment history. Keep it simple. Title, job title at the top, bold letters. What did you do? What was your title? Location, job location and date. So we have maybe a school, we have a company, January 2023 ongoing, to present, or to 2023-present, totally fine. Job title is more important. Job functions listed on the bottom as bullets. Here we have powerful verbs to start your job functions. I'm going to say bullet points I think are mandatory. Some people decide to take away the bullet point and write sentences. I think that's hard to read. This is real. Tutor, produce, lead, play. Super easy. What did you do? So bullet points, I love them. I don't think you can change this. Powerful verbs start your job functions. What did you do? I tutored, I produced, I led, and I played. Yeah? Don't be too creative. Be direct. Be direct. Present tense, powerful verbs, if you are still doing that job or degree. This sounds obvious. People mess this up all of the time. Are you still doing it? Produce. Not producing, produce. I produce. What do you do there? I produce, I lead, I play. Past tense, if you're done. It ended in January 2021. Tutored, produced, lead, led, same thing, played. Switch it to past tense. If you had one project and the project is finished, you can make that past tense. If the project is over, but you're still doing the job, but it should be exactly what this is. I'm very picky. If I get a resume, I will check this first. I'll say, okay, still doing it? Ooh, past tense verb, why? That's a mistake. I will find them. And it's not helpful for you. For us, for Americans, in English, past and present tense is obvious. Does Chinese have past and present tense in the same way? No. So it's not obvious if you're a Chinese native speaker, but it's obvious if you are a native English speaker. It's obvious and it hurts. It hurts to read the wrong thing. Ideas for powerful verbs. I just Googled them. You can Google them too. You can also use ChatGPT. Hey ChatGPT, I did this at my last job. Can you give me 3 ways to write it in a resume? Oh, great. I don't like any of them. Give me more. Bum, bum. Oh yeah, this one looks good. Let me change a little bit, copy, paste, put it into your resume. I don't think all of these are great. Let's look at number 12 over here. Harmonized. I don't know anybody that's harmonized something in their job. Maybe it's you. Maybe you've done something. It's okay to be creative, but you need to be accurate. Don't use a fancy word because it's a synonym. Yeah? English has a lot of nuance. And if you don't know the nuance, don't be creative, be direct. Don't be creative, be direct. Perhaps blended or assimilated or collaborated is better than harmonized. Concise descriptions for job functions. Concise example. Google, San Francisco, California, 2018 to 2021. Managed all marketing campaigns in the New England area. Managed all markets. So what did you do? I managed all marketing campaigns in the New England area. Yeah? Clear? Direct. Let's look at a non-concise example. I was the senior marketing manager, Google, okay. Managed all marketing campaigns, big and small, for my company in New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and other states in the area. Waste of time. What is New England? New England, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and all other states in the area. So find the right terms to make it concise. Use data and numbers for job functions. Managed a 300,000 USD marketing budget. Good. Supervised 4 full-time staff members. Directed a portfolio of 200 plus clients, achieving 20% increase in sales revenue for the first quarter. Analyzed marketing trends and identified new targets, leading to a 30% expansion in customer base. Quick note on this. This grammar style, so you have a clause, comma, ing verb, this is what ChatGPT will give you all of the time. All of the time, ChatGPT will do this comma ing. If your resume only has comma ing sentences, I know you didn't write it. So you have to change up your grammar and not sound like a robot. Developed a real-time chat application that can handle 1,000 concurrent users. Data is good. Data is powerful. Crafting these sentences is challenging. Look up specific examples from your field. Consider one-on-one tutoring so you can talk about what you've done and then you can craft them together. A skills section. I would like to say I do not have a skills section. I don't think it's mandatory. If your skills are Microsoft Office, don't write it. Yeah? If you're an expert at Excel and you can just fly through Excel and do calculations and you're fast, you can write expert at Excel. But if you can just use PowerPoint, don't put it as a skill. Yeah, you're all graduating students. You should know that. Everyone should know that. If it's obvious, don't write it. Some resumes have a skills section. They are useful if you have less experience. Common skills: international communication, customer service, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, data analysis, marketing. Okay, these are common. I don't think they're great. They're common. I don't think they're great. If you're great at Photoshop, write Photoshop Advanced. Some of you are. Some of you are really good at graphic design. Write Advanced. Yeah? Be specific. You can check the job description and put the skills that you have that match the specific position you are applying for. So check the job description, copy paste. Achievements or awards are great. Some of you have them. Common awards. Scholarships, if it's a big scholarship, you can put it. If it's a really small one, I don't know, maybe not. If it was hard to get, you can put it. Professional awards, sports awards, leadership awards, community awards, anything, awards are good. I think most of you could have an award section and it would make sense. I don't have an award section. I'm just not that good at things, I guess. Recap sections of a resume: header, education history, employment history, skills, and awards. Employment history, this could just say experience or relevant experience. It's called many things. For younger people who don't have many work experiences, you may choose to write an About Me section or a career objective section. This is very common in some fields, not common in others. I did not have an About Me section until recently. It's also called an executive summary when you're a little older. Let's look at an example. Notice this is in third person. So imagine you have your header and then this. Dedicated and intellectually curious political science major with a strong focus on social justice and international court rulings. I'm passionate about understanding global legal systems and advocating for equitable policy solutions. Committed to academic excellence, critical thinking, and contributing to meaningful social change through research and analysis. Some of this might be you. Might feel it, might feel good. This text is not also in your cover letter. If you copy and paste information from your resume to your cover letter, you're wasting people's time. Don't make people read the same thing twice. Yeah? So this is different than cover letter text. Example 2, passionate, energetic, and dedicated, results-driven, and proficient in selecting appropriate words or phrases to retouch literary work, skilled in effectively communicating and critical thinking, thrives in a collaborative setting, and an enthusiast, that's wrong, and enthusiastic about working with writers and editors. I've read this a lot and I never realized am should not be there. It's third person. If you want it to be first person, I am passionate, that's fine. Be consistent. Use I throughout. Here's what it would look like. So you have your top executive summary right there. Put it right under, right near. Any questions so far? We'll do a lot of examples and you can look at some and then point out errors and look at them at your phone and all that good stuff. Okay, let's continue. Consistent formats. I want to have enough time. Okay, we're good. Be consistent. This is the easiest thing for somebody who grades resumes. to like mark points off. Oh, these bullet points are size 4 font, but these bullet points are size 6. Minus points. Yeah, it's sloppy. Don't be sloppy. Don't read. There's no point in reading. So we have bold at the top, italics, regular, standard. So bold, italic, standard. Consistent pattern. Let's do another one. Bold, standard, consistent pattern. Yeah? Be consistent. So this would be a different example. Word style hierarchy. So large bold text at the top. We want to see big bold text at the top. Yeah? We want big text, but maybe not bold underneath it. Maybe medium italic text, small normal text, something like that. Italices are a little more flexible, but we go big to small. It sounds obvious that we go big to small, but this is such a common mistake, and that's why I have to teach it. Good example. So we have big, slightly smaller, smaller. Easy to read, easy to follow. If you have an example like this, where do you look first? Where do your eyes go? They kind of jump. I would read center. I'd see the big bold text, I'd say center. Wait, what is that? Tutor, it's just annoying. So the unclear text does that. If you're in a marketing class, you know how you get trained on where your eyes look at a document. Yeah? And you can control where people look. So control where people look. Make it easy for them. Your brain doesn't know where to look first if you don't do text hierarchy. Choose fonts that are easily readable in small and large print. Professional fonts. Avoid childish fonts. Avoid colors that are hard to read on a screen or print. On my computer, this is really easy to read. This projector is very dim. When you apply to a company, sometimes they have a group of people that review applicants. They put your resume on a screen, and someone will talk about the applicant. If they can't read your application, you won't get the job. Yeah? So what are dark colors? Pretty much you get 3 options. You get black, dark gray, dark blue. I don't think you should use other colors. Perhaps a dark green. I'll show a green example later. I don't think you can be very creative. Dark red is too aggressive, in American companies at least. So we have example job with functions. Senior marketing manager, Google San Francisco, California, 2018 to 2021. Managed all marketing campaigns in the New England area. Facilitated executive team meetings. Grow company by revenue of 235% in 3 years. Is it perfect? It is not. In your table, find a group of 2 or 3 people, and I would like for you to spot the 6 errors. I think there's actually 8, but try to find 6. Is that big enough for everybody? I know that it's not very dark, so. Collaborate, talk, chit chat, say, hi, my name's Anthony. How many do you have? Raise your hands. I don't know this system, so just 2 fingers, please. 2 hands, please. 6? How many do we have?
6.
6? 6? 6? 7? 7? 7? 5. Okay, you were holding up your other hand too. Yeah, fine. Okay, good, good. Let's start at the top. Senior marketing manager. What's the problem? Capital M. There we go, capital M on manager. I actually made this mistake earlier in the presentation. I didn't capitalize the job function. I didn't want to say it because you have to do it here. Google, okay, San Francisco, California, 2018 to 2021. 3 mistakes. 3. Give me 1. San Francisco, comma, California. Nobody saw that for 2 years. And then one student was like, isn't there a comma? And I was like, oh my God. Like nobody knew, nobody knew. Comma, good. Other mistake? 2021 is not supposed to be italicized. What does that mean? It's just silly, it's sloppy, it doesn't make any sense. Last one? Yeah, right here. So there's a space here, but not a space there. So that's a bad consistency error. Some people know like this should be like an M dash, like a longer dash. I personally don't care as long as it looks good. It doesn't look good like that. Managed all marketing campaigns in the New England area. I think we're good. I think we're good. Facilitated executive team meetings, mistake 1. Capital F, mistake 2. Bullet point, too small. Grow company revenue by 235% in 3 years. Mistake? Past tense would be grew. Okay, did anybody find any other mistakes? Technically, 3 should be THREE. Numbers over 10, you write the number. I don't really care. I personally, it's not an academic paper, but it's a good argument. 3 could be THREE. Yeah. Okay, nice job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I don't even have the comma circled there. What will the company think about you if you make formatting errors on your resume? Not professional. You don't care about the job. You rushed your application, also bad. Or you're sloppy. The last one is, okay, maybe their English language isn't very strong, which can also be a problem. If you're required to have B2 or above, you can't make grow mistake. If you're B2, you can't make past present mistakes. Yeah? It's just, I understand why you would make that mistake, but a regular American will just think that you're bad at English. So it's a lot less sympathy for small mistakes, unless you have experience working in other places. Strong resume example. You don't need to read a lot of the details. I'm going to tell you what's good. We can see education, and we see the same formatting we used before. Experience, the same formatting we used before. Domestic sales, same formatting, same formatting. We have skills, we have languages, and we have awards. Languages, it says English advanced. That is vague. If you can write English C1, write C1. If you write a TOEIC score, that's good. If you took the test 2 years ago and you were B2, but now you're probably C1, write advanced. Yeah, advanced is better, but we like that stuff there as well. We have relevant information at the top, name, contact information, and photo. Education history is great. Employment history with relevant jobs listed first. I would like to point this out. This is 2013 to present, and that's a marketing director position. So that's on the top. So 2013 to present is a marketing director. Strong verbs for each job function listed in the correct tense. Data in job functions. Core skills section that relate to the job description. Great. Language section. Great. I think you all, if you can understand me and you can talk in English and you can write in English, you need to write English on your resume. Write your language ability. You're at one of the top schools in Taiwan. You assume that if you take every single graduating student, you're probably better than most. There's a lot of schools where English is not very supported, where students don't speak English when they graduate. Clear formatting with professional colors and fonts. So we have light gray, blue, black. Clear word style hierarchy, big text, smaller text, smaller text. Big text, smaller text, smaller text. Big text, smaller text, smaller text. Indentations are smaller texts. So this might be 12-point font and 12-point font. That's okay. The indentation makes it smaller. More relevant details for the most recent and relevant positions. 4 bullet points. 2. I had to do this on my resume. I deleted tons of information from my graduate school experience. I had 2 different jobs, I had 3 different internships, and now they are very small on my resume. Those details aren't important. Less details for positions held a long time ago. Something interesting, right here it says Mom's Favorite Child Award. I think it's fun. I'm a fun person. 95% of the time, don't include it, but consider it. Consider something small, something fun. At the bottom, totally fine. I put 6-time intramural badminton champion. So 10 years ago, I won 6 different university badminton championships. It wasn't very competitive. Nobody knew how to play, and they don't know that it's fun, right? It's a fun fact about me. Is this suitable for Jane? What is one thing you might change? I know it's hard to read. I'm going to give you the answer. I said the marketing position, marketing director from 2013 to present. That's massive. Yeah? That's 12 years of being a director. Is that more important than her Bachelor of Accounting? So much more important. This person needs to switch. Their education is no longer valid as a most important thing. Yeah? This marketing director position is incredible for this person. That needs to be at the top. Okay, this QR code will give you access to this image. Can we check that? Can someone check? I checked it. It should work. Scan the QR code, check out the resume, and we are going to very quickly identify the goods and some room for improvement. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Yes! This resume follows a template that I like. I think there's one big change we need to make, and I think it's this header is pretty sloppy. We want headers to be in a perfect bar. On the header, we assume name, contact information, photo. Yeah? Here, you see how the photo drops down? It doesn't look good. I may be including this information here. I think we could maybe drop that down. So imagine if we lift the head up, we put the contact information under the name, and then this has its own section here as a, what's it called? Forgetting the name. Introduction, self-introduction section. So, because here, where's the header? Where does the header start? Where does the header end? It doesn't. It's shifted. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I think the rest is pretty good. Again, I use this example because I think she did a very good job on her resume with a small thing that we could fix. Lots of good detail in the descriptions. Hard skills, we can see here soft skills. So like adaptability, problem solving, time management. I don't think those are very good. Like I think the hard skills should be on top. The hard skills are real. For example, interior design, drawing, Excel, and languages. I think that would be up. Soft skills, responsibility. It's a little vague, but it's a newer resume, so I understand it. Let me check this one really. Okay, next one. Obvious mistake. Can anybody see it? It's a joke. No, you can't see it. The text is too small. So this entire resume, the text is so small, even on my cell phone, I have to zoom in. Yeah? They are a designer, so this is in the design department, so I think they wanted to be a little fancy. I think it's too fancy. I think they pushed the fanciness too far. There's a big gap up here, and there's a big gap at the bottom, so the spacing, there's space. There's space for more words. You can make something look fancy without all of the things, all of the small text. Very nice here. Some of you are Adobe users. Put the logos. It's not so common, but if you're a designer, that's right. Show them what software you use. Yeah? If it's industry specific. For engineers, if you're using specific things for CAD, like C++, that would be the example. The last improvement here. So you see the experience? They're in sentences. There's no bullet points. I think it makes it really hard to read. So bigger text, bullet points, and this is improved. Sorry about the QR codes breaking. No problem. This is the About Me section. So they wrote, I define myself as a designer walking the line between retro and tomorrow, raised on the warmth of nostalgic design and inspired by the clean, emotional clarity of Japanese aesthetics. I want my work to feel like a dream you half remembered wrapped in something new. Good luck beating that. That's incredible. It's poetic, it's artistic, and it shows that they are a designer. Yeah? If you're an engineer and you write something like this, that's kind of silly. Yeah? So know who you are, know your degree, know your field, know what's expected. Small mistake, they didn't maintain first person. So raised on, I was raised on. So they went first person, third person, first person. So that is a grammatical error. But the language is so good. So good. Make text larger, reduce dead open spaces. Reformat all experiences. This is really hard to read. Exhibition coordinator assistant, assisted in the planning and setup of small-scale exhibition that successfully attracted over 800 attendees. Successfully attracted, what did they do? Did they design the marketing material? Did they make phone calls to local businesses? Did they hand out flyers? We have no idea. We don't know what they did. Yeah? So this can be greatly improved. Period, assisted in the planning and setup, period, or bullet point, wrote cold emails to over 200 local businesses, something like that. I did the same thing and I improved, no, it's not the same thing. Here was the example from before. So here we have exhibition coordinator assistant. Here we have marketing director. Here we have a job function. Here we have the location, the company location. So this, we don't know where this even was, and we have dates, no dates. Oh, we do. The dates are down here. That's weird. Put the dates at the top. Yeah? So this is our clean example. This is not. Much more clear. Analyze resume 3. Just take a look. You don't need to read the details. Does that look like a resume? It does not look like a resume. It's obvious. When you look at good resumes all day long and then somebody submits this, they're not going to get the job. It looks like they just typed enter, typed enter, typed enter, highlight big text, highlight big text, highlight big text, submit. Yeah? This took 15 minutes. Most of your resumes will take a few hours. And then you're going to come back and edit it in a few days, and it's going to take another hour. So let's jump in. Typical interviews in the world, about 1 to 5 employees, 15 to 16 minutes, about 5 to 15 questions. Taiwan is strange. Taiwan interviews are way too short. Taiwan interviews are 5 to 15 minutes. In America, nothing is under 30. The average is 60. The average interview is an hour long. It's 50 minutes of questions to you, 10 minutes to them. Yeah? When I came to Taiwan and the interviews started to be really, really short, I thought it was horrible. I said, you can't get to know me. You can't get to know me in 5 minutes. I have so many life skills and experiences and stories that I want to share. So be ready. Be ready for longer interviews for Western companies. Let's start with this question. What does an interviewer want to know about you? It's an interesting question because you might think they want to know about what's on your resume. If they wanted to know what's on your resume, they would read your resume, right? So you can't repeat what's on your resume. You can say some details, but you have to expand. You have to tell stories. You have to do lots of stuff. So an interviewer wants to know your personality, your language ability, your work experience, your education experience, your personal goals, your potential fit for the role. Personality, I put it as number 1. If you're boring, you're going to be a boring employee. Do I want to sit next to a boring employee for 5 years? No. You want to sit next to somebody that's friendly, that's kind, that's passionate, that's curious. Yeah? Not someone who's boring. So we have to give people energy. We have to be social. Yeah? Be social. Language ability, if the interview is in English, language ability is what they're testing. They want to know if you can keep up. An interview is your opportunity to share your expertise and professional skills through storytelling. For example, again and again and again, you have to tell a story. I'm good at marketing skills. How? In 2025, I worked for a marketing firm where I was the intern underneath the director of marketing for Southeast Asia. I worked on 5 different projects, including online marketing and a TV campaign. Tell your story. Story. Details. So consider these when answering an interview question. We're going to go around the circle. We're going to start with what an interviewer is really trying to understand. Interview questions are designed to show your personal history, your expertise, your personality, your opinions, and your problem-solving skills. I always forget work style is down there. Work style as well. Example question. Tell us about a time you missed a deadline. What happened and what did you learn? Personal history, expertise, personality, opinions, problem-solving skills, or work style. Which one? What are they trying to understand? Or which multiple? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Problem-solving skills. Your personal history of mistakes. So not really personal history. Not expertise. Not a technical skill question. What about personality? If you show regret and remorse and sadness and frustration about this question, that's a good thing. Yeah, I missed this huge deadline my sophomore year of college. I had like 4 projects going on, and there was this paper, and I had it scheduled in my calendar, and every time my calendar invite would come up, I was currently working on a different project, and then I missed the deadline. I only had half the paper written by just the regret, the sadness. They want you to be a good employee. So if you're sad about being a bad employee, that's good. That's a weird sentence, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's do another example. How do you manage competing priorities? This is how do you manage many things that are fighting for your time? How do you do these things? So this is personal history, expertise, personality, opinions, problem-solving skills, or work style. Which of these is the interviewer trying to understand about you? Definitely work style. Give an example. Oh, last semester I had 4 major projects for 3 different departments. They were all due within 1 week, but I had 1 month to work on all of them. I started by prioritizing the different levels of all of my tasks. Work style. Yeah? How are you problem solving? What's your work style? There we go. What is the interviewer really trying to understand? If the interviewer is looking for a story and you don't give them a story, you did not meet their requirement in their brain. Yeah? You did not answer the question fully. How long should my answer be? I think this one's pretty easily. Typically, answers range from 1 to 10 sentences. Longer answers may lead to confusing the interviewer. Shorter answers might not fully answer the interview question. Before you start speaking, determine how long you want your answer to be. Before you start speaking. Example question, how long have you been working at your current company? How many sentences? 1 to 10. 1, maybe 1.5. Then shut up. Yeah? Move on. Yeah? Don't waste your time. I've been with Samsung for 3 years, 1 year as an intern and 2 years as a marketing specialist. Done. Yeah? Don't explain anything. Please don't. Don't waste their time. This is very nice. Could you answer this question effectively in just 1 sentence? Tell us about a time when you increased your company's revenue. Can you answer this in 1 sentence? If you're not confident in English, some people are going to answer this in 1 sentence because they don't know how to tell a story. If your interview is in English, you have to use English. You have to tell a story. Tell us about a time. Give us a story. Example short answer. Last year I made our company $250,000 USD by implementing our US marketing strategies in Canada. That's an answer. What's it missing? What strategies? What campaigns? What were your challenges? What did you learn? Who did you work with? How long did it take? All of these beautiful, beautiful details that we need. We need more details. Example long answer. This is more than 10 sentences, but this is what I think you need to do. If they are asking you this question, let's say you're applying for a marketing position, yeah? And they ask you this question, they want to know if you can do that for them. And if you don't tell a good story, they don't know. So this story, we see during my time in my previous company, I worked as a marketing campaign that significantly increased revenue. So yes, I've done it. We were trying to promote a new product launch in Canada, and I was responsible for executing the digital marketing strategy. What was the situation? Marketing campaign in Canada, I was responsible for. First, I conducted la 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 la. Then I created a comprehensive email marketing campaign. Awesome. We also leveraged social media. I monitored the campaign closely. So what was a team effort? What was an individual effort? Make it clear. Yeah? I misspoke earlier. I said cover letters were next. It's resumes. I had a verbal typo. We also leveraged social media and paid yada, yada, yada. I monitored. As a result, what happened? Telling a story, 50% increase in website traffic, 25% increase in leads generated, la da 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 da, 250,000 USD. Overall, I'm confident in my ability to create and execute successful marketing campaigns that will drive revenue growth for this company. This is the one sentence that we saw at the beginning, right? The bad example, one sentence. This one sentence is just restating the question. Yeah, I can do it. I believe in my ability to do it. You should believe in me too. Pretty easy. This answer is prepared. If you're a marketing person and you're applying for a marketing job, you know this answer and you've memorized it. Yeah? Word for word, memorized it. This is your best question to get in a marketing job. Cool, cool. Next point. What are the 1 to 3 key points I want to convey? What does convey mean? Convey. Highlight? Highlight, or to get across? To illustrate? You know, a conveyor belt? You know those Japanese sushi restaurants where the sushi comes? That's a conveyor belt. Convey, it's bringing something. Interviewers will be taking notes during the interview. So you sit down, they say, hi, tell us about yourself. Yeah? What do you want them to write down? We don't think about this. This is my favorite point. Nobody thinks about this. You should think about this. They're going to write something down. What do I want them to write? I think you can tell them what you want to write. This is my favorite. Tell them. State your 1 to 3 main points at the very beginning of your answer. Explain your points, maybe with a story, and then restate your 1 to 3 points at the end. This is called point, example, point, PEP. We'll talk about that a little later. So basic. If 60% of your answers are doing this, you're beating most people in the interview. How do you manage competing priorities? To manage competing priorities, I follow these 3 steps. I organize, I prioritize, and then I execute. Now tell your story, example, conclusion, and that's how I organize, I prioritize, and I execute. What do they write down? Organize, prioritize, execute. Pen goes down, they listen to your story. They might write a few details, but you've answered the question already. Now they can enjoy your explanation. This direct style takes pressure off the interviewer and lets them enjoy your story or explanation. I know my slides. 1, 2, 3, done. Number 4, if needed, what real story can you tell that helps support my answer? An interview is your opportunity for the interviewers to get to know you. Telling real stories is an easy way to get your personality, to show your personality and expertise. Telling real stories helps them imagine what type of coworker you will be. In my business English class, I read their scripts. They write scripts for 10 or to 15 answers. If I don't see stories, they get 30% off. They get a 70% for no stories. It is a critical part of interviews. Yeah? Critical part. Absolutely critical. What parts of my story should I tell or leave out? Number 5. Be careful. Many details of our personal stories may be interesting to us, but not relevant to the interviewers or to the interview question. Be very careful. Only talk about the details of your story that interviewers need to know to understand your answer. Let's give an example here. So I said, tell me about a time when you increased your company's revenue. This is repeat information. This was the introduction we read before. During my time at my previous company, I worked yada, yada, yada. This answer's introduction leaves out things like age, company's name, location, the number of team members, the specific product. Yeah? When I gave you this answer before, you were not like, well, what product was it? Maybe you thought about what was the name of the company, but you don't realize the information that I left out because the information that I gave was the most important information. If I was working at Google, say Google. Right? If you're working for a good company, say that company's name. Yeah? If you worked for an important person, say that person's name. Yeah? If you're working, okay, for example, we're in NCCU. Let's say you were working with the president of the university. You're going to apply for a master's degree at NTU. You say, when I was working with blah, 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 the president of NCCU, right? And move on. So it depends. What's most important? That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. How should I finish my answer? This is I'm terrible. I can't do it. Finishing an answer is very hard. Yeah? We always, that's all. I'm done. Thanks. Yeah? It's really, really hard. So let's prepare for it. Every great interview answer has a clear conclusion. Here are some conclusion options. Restate the main points. Restate the question, or confirm that your answer shows your capacity to do the job effectively. I don't think there are any other options. Thanks. Yeah? Even tell me about yourself. And you finish with, thanks for taking the time to get to know me. That's restating the question. Tell us about yourself. Thanks for getting to know me. That's a restatement, even if not directly. Main points, and that's how I organize. And that's how I manage competing priorities. I organize, I prioritize, and I execute. Restate the question. Overall, I'm confident in my ability to create and execute successful marketing campaigns. Confirm your answer highlights your capacity to do the job effectively. As you can see, working effectively with international shareholders is something I take seriously. As you can see, as my story provides, as you now know, anything like that. This is a very confident Western style of speaking. You're speaking English, a Western language. You have to adapt to the culture. Yeah? If I were speaking Chinese and I said this, it might be too aggressive. So if I were speaking Chinese, I would have to soften my answers. This is not a grammatical tip, this is a cultural tip. Be direct. Okay. Any questions on our 4, 5, 6? I can count 6 points. I'm going to give one small example for what is the interviewer really trying to understand. If the interviewer asks, can you define collaboration? What are they trying to understand?
Trying to know your experience, relationship, motivation.
Good. What are they not trying to understand?
You don't have any experience really.
No, they're not trying to understand if I can define a word correctly. They asked, define cooperation. Cooperation is when multiple people work together for a common goal. Get out of my office. Yeah? They asked for you to define something. They don't care about your ability to be a dictionary. They want to know about your work experience that influenced your understanding of the word collaboration. So this is tricky. What is the interviewer really trying to understand? Yeah? Americans will be tricky with their questions. If you don't know what they want, ask them. I'm sorry, are you asking for my definition of collaboration, or would you like to hear some stories about how I understand collaboration? Oh, tell us some stories. That would be great. Okay, boom, go. Ask. If you don't know, ask. If you don't know, ask. Any questions? Yes?
What should I answer if I was asked to do that? Do you have any question to the position or anything?
Yeah, you should. That's a whole different topic. You should, if they ask, do you have any questions for us? You need to have 5 questions ready. Tell me about the work culture. Right? So there's company questions, so tell me more about your company. There's job-specific questions. Yeah? Will I be required to use PowerPoint or can I use Google Slides? Yeah? So that. Company culture questions. Yeah? Do you guys have a staff basketball team? Are you guys friends? Do you hang out? Yeah? Or is this a come and get work done? So there's many different types. Salary questions. Yeah? You can go to YouTube, find some good videos for your field. That's a whole topic. But you need specific questions for them. Yeah. I like to ask culture questions. I ask, are there professional development opportunities available? Common interview answer structures. This one's great for telling stories. STAR. Does anybody know what STAR stands for?
Situation, task, action, result.
Yes! Situation, task, action, result. So easy. What was the situation? What was your task? What did you do? What was the result? Yeah? Don't think too hard. Follow the structure. Great for telling stories. Longer answers. This is a longer answer. This is at least 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 sentences. PEP. I mentioned this before. Point, example, point. Much more direct, right? Managing competing priorities. Example, that's how I manage competing priorities. Shorter answers, clear structure shows logical thinking. This last point is also like restating the question. PERP, point, example. Any ideas? R? Any guesses? R? Yeah, good, reason. Reaction's interesting. I don't hate it. You can do reaction. Yeah, why not? I say reason. Point, example, reason, point. Why did you do what you did? This shows your thought process and your work style, your creative thinking. Totally fine. Another one I often use is point, example, counterpoint, point. So a counterpoint or a counterexample. We did this because we were worried that if we did this, it wasn't going to go well. Yeah? So your counterexample, your counter-reasoning. How to prepare for an interview. This one is actually really, really easy. Script practice. Okay, can I move on? Do search the companies you are offered an interview with. Do research on jobs that you are applying for. Write out 15 plus questions that they may ask. Write out detailed answers to every question and edit your grammar. ChatGPT will give you a bad answer, but it can help you improve yours. Write an answer, ask for improvements. Do not ask for an answer. Answer first, get improvements. Yeah? ChatGPT doesn't know you well. You know you. So start with you. Rehearse each of your answers out loud dozens of times until you feel comfortable. Dozens. Job applications are important. It's for money. It's for your career. Yeah? Do you want to be prepared? Yes. How do we prepare? Dozens of times. Okay? Out loud. Throwing, hi, my name's Anthony. Thanks for being here today. I'm excited to be. Does that count? No. That's a damaging practice specifically in Asia. Americans talk this loud all the time. Perhaps most of you have never spoken this loud. I think that's a problem in international business. Americans don't have microphones ready in every room. What happens if you go into a room with 20 people and there's no microphone? You gotta talk louder. You cannot talk quietly. So when you're preparing for an interview, if it's, let's say it's 1, 2, 3, I need to talk about this loud. It's gonna be a conversation. I'm not talking to my computer screen. I'm not talking into a microphone. I'm having a good formal conversation. I'm not yelling, I'm not this loud, I'm talking to everybody now, but you need to be able to project, and rehearsing increases your confidence and your strength. A mock interview is practice. So a mock interview is full practice interview done with your colleagues or supervisor. This is your chance to receive feedback on your interview skills before doing a live interview. You all have friends in your degree, let's say 3 marketing majors, 1, 2, 3. One person does a mock interview, 2 give feedback. Switch. 1 does a mock interview, 2 give feedback. Switch. 1 does a mock, right? Support each other. Totally good. This helps get rid of nerves, just like practicing before a concert or a musical or something like that. Prepare your clothes, boys especially. Business professional is appropriate in most cases. You do not want to be the most underdressed. It's okay if they're casual. Don't be more casual. If they are all wearing suits and you come in business casual, if they're in suits and I'm wearing this, not a good look. If they're in suits, I need to be in a suit. If I'm in a suit and they are in this, that's okay. Yeah? I am not in the position of power if I'm interviewing. Be above the position of power. Lay your clothes out the night before and iron them. I leave this note for boys. Ironed clothes look good. This helps get rid of nerves. You wake up and you know your clothes are ready to go. Yeah? Don't wait to know what you're going to wear. Print some useful materials. This is a huge tip that nobody does. Come to the interview with printed resumes, business cards, other relevant visual aids, marketing material, 3D models. Some of you have a portfolio. Print the portfolio. Bring it in a binder and say, hi, my name's Anthony. Here's my portfolio. I'm excited to be here today. Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. So cool. Yeah? You're interviewing. Give them something. Yeah? Give them lots of cool things. Engineers can print off pretty much anything that they've done. Any questions before we do common mistakes? Yes?
Sometimes, like in China, sometimes we ask, what's your weakness?
Yeah.
How can we understand?
That question, what is your greatest weakness? It's always a past tense question. Don't say currently. Yeah? Similarly, you'd say same question, different words. So what is your greatest weakness? What is a bad habit that you used to have, and how did you break it? What is a bad habit that you used to have, and how did you break it? Same question, different words. What is your greatest weakness? About 2 years ago, I had a really hard time prioritizing my tasks effectively. What was my bad habit? I had a bad habit of not prioritizing effectively. Yeah? Same question. And then you say, but I worked with my professor, and I learned that prioritizing takes some critical thinking, but it also takes good communication with my supervisor and my professors. And when my professors know, this is a good answer, I love this one actually. When my professors know what my priorities are in my job, they can adjust their priorities to fit my job priorities, because they know I have 2 different things going on, and they will slide in my work, my school work with my business work. Yeah? So making sure that everybody knows about my priorities. So you learn, it's a story. It's another story about how do you learn, how do you grow, it's a professional development question. Weaknesses in Taiwan. I'm a perfectionist. I work too hard. I don't meet deadlines. It's pretty much those 3. Yeah? 99% of people will say, I work too hard, I'm a perfectionist, and I don't meet my deadlines. Yeah? or I wait till the last minute. Yeah? If I give you an assignment due Monday night at 12 p.m., when do you submit it? Monday night at 12 a.m. Monday night, 11:59 p.m. Yeah? I have students, I know. Yeah? You guys wait and you wait and you wait and submit. Yeah? Or you do other stuff. So it's just all the time. So you need to be creative. Don't pick something normal. Don't pick something everyone else is going to say. Other questions?
I have a similar experience with fair question, but the interviewer just asked me a fair question. Also, now you don't have any weaknesses. She asked me this question. I don't know what she's just.
If you really want to be, I like that. If they push you, I really like that. Say, I don't know if I've ever thought about any of my skills as being weak, but I think of my skills as being things that I'm continuously developing. Currently, I'm developing but certainly compared to other applicants, I would not say it's weak. Be confident. Compared to other applicants, I would not call it a weakness. Do you know what the other applicants are doing? No, but that confidence in saying I'm good at it, I know that's not a very Taiwanese thing, but it's an English interview, and if you're with an English-speaking company, they're going to be more Western. We expect confidence. We expect you to know your strengths, yeah? And we expect you to be learning and growing and developing constantly. That's what we expect. And if you say I'm really weak at this and you don't give a good reason, then you're not learning, you're not growing, and you're not developing, yeah? So they're always trick questions. I like that she challenged you, though. She challenged you. Okay, common mistakes should feel easy. These should be like, oh yeah, don't do that. We all do it. That's why they're common. Not knowing about the company. You need to know about the company's products, region, competitors, size. All of these things are important. If I interviewed for NCCU, I need to know about the students, the degrees, the departments. Where's the funding coming from? Yeah? How many international teachers from America are there? If there's a lot, I don't need to be that American. If there's very few, I can be very American because now I'm selling my cultural background. Yeah? You need to know those things. Very powerful. English grammar errors. Making some mistakes in English is normal, but making many mistakes can lead to confusing the interviewers. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be good. Yeah? You do not need to be perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. If I were speaking Chinese and I make a small mistake, no, of course not. It's fine. If I make a mistake every single sentence, it's very challenging to listen to. It's very challenging to hear. Sorry? Practice makes perfect, practice makes better. That's why we script our answers. Mistake 3, appearing uninterested or bored. Be interested in your stories and history. Be interested in their products or service. How do we show interest? It's easy for me. I'm loud. Let's say you're very quiet. How do you show interest?
I will automatically mention my understanding of their products. I will tell them, you release a new product, and I think the product is quite good, and the reason is why.
Yeah, talking about their current products shows interest.
Yeah.
Showing you've done research shows interest. If you also like their products, you're going to smile. Smiling shows interest. Smiling also changes the tone of your voice, and we're sensitive to it. You can kind of hear it if somebody frowns, and you can kind of hear it if somebody smiles. It's a brighter tone. It's a higher tone. What's the difference between this and this? This and this. Huge difference, yeah? If I'm just talking and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay, yeah. They say, what's your favorite product? You say, oh, well, recently you guys designed this new thing. You're showing interest with your body. Lean forward, lean in. If you have a bad answer, if they say, you have no recent weaknesses, lean into the question. Be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge, yeah? I'm interested in this. You sit back and you're always down here. It's a very weak position. Sitting up straight, professional, and normal. Come forward occasionally, fantastic. Yeah. Body language is incredibly powerful. Not elaborating on answers. Elaborating means telling more. Telling a story and explaining your points are major parts of an interview. Short answers can seem rude. That's one of the big problems. It can seem rude. Not being well-groomed. What does well-groomed mean? To groom. This is often a term used for dogs. The groomers, what's a groomer?
Clean.
Yeah, if I'm going to take my dog to the groomers, they're going to clean my dog and cut its hair. And yeah, grooming means to be cleaned. Look good. Shave or trim your beard, get a haircut, iron clothes. Personally, a messy beard is like my least favorite thing. If it's like a scraggly beard, I really dislike it. Sometimes it's a style, personally. So you have to understand it's a little bit of bias. Everyone's got their own stuff. Haircut, for us boys, we get a haircut and it takes about a week to 2 weeks for the hair to look natural. Yeah? It takes about 2 weeks. So if I'm really interested in the job, I will schedule my haircut for about a week to 2 weeks before. Girls, you're different. I know bangs are tricky. So maybe when you get your bangs cut, you're all day, you're like, no. And you need a week or 2 weeks for your bangs. Yeah? You want to feel confident. You know your hair, get a haircut when it makes sense. Yeah? Being late. Taiwan is slightly relaxed time culture. In Taiwan, things start about 5 to 10 minutes late. Right? Yeah? It's not an option for an interview. 10 minutes early is probably too late. I'll tell you why. If you are late to an interview, they may think you will be late to work as well. Plan to arrive to the interview area 30 plus minutes beforehand. Maybe you go to 7-Eleven, maybe you go to a cafe. What happens if your bus is late? Your bus doesn't show up. What happens if a car accident? Yeah? There's no excuses. Yeah? You don't get a second chance. Yeah? I had to go to Ilan for an interview 2 years ago. I went to Ilan for an interview. If the interview is at 12 o'clock in Ilan, when do I leave Taipei? So maybe 2 hours before? It took me 3 hours to get there. Was I late? I was 5 minutes early because I left 3 hours before. Because what if I miss my bus to Ilan? When's the next bus? Another hour. They don't tell foreigners, oh, that bus, you need a ticket. Every other bus, just scan your card. Beep, good. No. The Ilan bus is a trans-city bus. That you need to buy a ticket. Where do you buy a ticket? There's no English. Oh, it's that store. That's a ticket store? Okay, I go there. Hi, I'd like to go to this place. Oh, okay. Next bus is full. Okay, fine. I get on the next bus, whatever. I get a ticket, get on the bus. I'm going. Traffic. Took me 3 hours to get to Ilan. I could have biked there on a U-bike. Just, yeah? Crazy. But I was okay. I made the interview. How long was that interview? I'm not going to tell you where it was. It was 5 minutes. I talked for 5 minutes. They asked a few questions. So it was like a demonstration for 5 minutes. And they asked questions for 5 minutes. Goodbye. Wild. There was another foreigner that was interviewing. And I finished. I go talk to the foreigner. And I say, hey, good luck. She goes, how was it? And I said, well, it's a 5-minute presentation and a 5-minute interview. And she goes, what can you learn about someone in 5 minutes? And I was like, I don't know. Good luck. Yeah? She was also devastated. She was so upset. So in the job, you have to be flexible. Prepare for anything. Yeah? If you get 5 minutes, what can you say in 5 minutes to impress them? That's the purpose. I can be upset, but you still have to be good. 5 minutes of good. Wasting time on less important questions, especially if you have 5 minutes. How long were you in your last position? This answer should be short. Tell us about a time, yada, yada, yada. This answer should be long. Any questions? Good 45 minutes of lecture for that. Interviews are so much fun. Interviews are like do you know what culmination means? To culminate to. It's the gathering of all of your experience and everything that you've worked hard for in that one moment for you to deliver it cleanly to somebody else. Here's all of my hard work, all of my challenges, all of my learning in a nice, neat package in 30 minutes. It's a culmination. So there's a lot of pressure. Any questions so far? Let's see if I've got something else. I think I've got. Nothing? Yeah.
Any tips on like a group interview?
A group interview?
Like what?
Yeah, I have the best tip because it happened to me. So a group interview, sometimes there's about 2 interviewers and maybe 3 to 10 people. 3 to 10 people, and they want to ask the group a question. Yeah? Number 1 tip, don't say what everyone else says. This actually happened to me, and it was hysterical. It was so funny. What do you guys do in your free time? Netflix. I'm not joking. 7 people said Netflix, and I was the 8th person. I could say anything I wanted to, and I win. Right? I could say anything. Literally, I like to clean chairs. Yeah? They remember me. Do they remember the 7 Netflix people? No, they don't. I said I read books. I don't love reading books. I like books. I don't love to read them. I like them. And then they asked a follow-up question. Oh, what book have you read recently? Whew. Scary for Anthony. I had a good answer, because I did. I got lucky. But I just didn't want to say Netflix, right? I wanted something interesting. And I picked a good book, one of my favorite books, and I did read it recently. It was in my room. Yeah? Did they ask follow-up questions to the other people? No. Oh, what are you watching? Netflix. Oh, what are you watching? Netflix. Oh, what are you watching? They don't care. They didn't ask a question. So say something different, be concise, but also if you don't get a chance to speak up, lean forward. Put your body in the way and make sure they know that you have something to say. Yeah? If you can't talk, raise your hand, move in, say, I would like to add something. I disagree. Disagree with people. Say, that's an interesting thought. I have a different experience and I think I disagree. Because, yeah? So say something different. Don't repeat information. Same thing, right? Interject yourself. So put your body in the way. Make sure you have time to speak. And say something unique. Be true to yourself. Yeah, good experiences. Yes?
May I know the answer of the last class, which is the last question? That is splitting into 2 columns necessary?
Yeah, I actually have that presentation still pulled up because of that point. And I had some good tips after it. Where are we? There we go. The answer is no. My resume is 1 column, 1 big column. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Newer resumes are 2 columns.
For viewers?
Newer resumes, on average, are 2 columns because of Canva.
Oh.
There we go. It's a good question. Yeah. Mine's different. I'm older and weird, so my formatting's a little strange. Here, don't think too hard about mine, but mine's a good example. Other questions?
Do English resumes don't require executive summary?
No. So about me, executive summaries, personal history statements are not mandatory. They are very good if you have a unique life, a unique set of skills, or if you're a new employee and you don't have experience. So I don't have experience, I'm going to write about me. I have some very specific, so me specifically, I teach around Taiwan at many different universities. That's unique. I teach full-time, I teach part-time at 2 different universities. That's unique. I also make videos and write scripts, record, edit, publish, and produce. That's unique. So since I have some weird skills, I have a summary. Yeah. And my job is unique. Like there's not many people with my current jobs. So, good questions. Yes.
When it comes to introduce myself, which if I want to present with slides, how many pages of slide is suitable?
In what context?
Introduce it.
An academic presentation, interview, conference presentation.
Interview. Job interview.
You've had a job interview with slides?
Yes.
Very cool. How long is the interview? How long is your slide presentation supposed to be?
About 3 to 5 minutes.
Let's say less than 3 slides.
Less than 3.
Sure. I always have, so like today, we've been through 130 slides today. I use a lot of slides. It doesn't feel that way because I talk through points and I move and I move and I move. Yeah, I don't pull up 10 points on one slide and then talk about the slide for a while. I move to a new slide. So for 2 hours, I'll go through 130 slides. But that's my presentation style. If you can talk quickly, like 1 power sentence for 5 slides about yourself, and it only takes you about 30 seconds, 5 slides is totally fine. Yeah? So if you're telling a story, my name's Anthony, click, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio in the Midwest, click, I went to the University of Dayton for 6 years where I got my undergrad and my master's degree, click. In Taiwan, I work for these 2 universities, click. I also give these presentations, click. That's 30 seconds, 5 slides. So be concise, especially for 5 minutes. Is it a 5-minute about yourself? Or the 5-minute total presentation?
It's 5 minutes about myself.
Oh. I misunderstood that point. You could go up to 10, why not? 1 page for a successful project, 1 page for your university, 1 page for an internship, yeah? A problem is in university, professors will be like, okay, give a 10-minute presentation, but you only get 5 slides. It's like, why? Nowhere in the world does a business restrict the amount of slides you can have. Yeah? We gave a sales pitch recently with, it was a 10-minute sales pitch, 35 slides. Why would we want to make it less? This doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? So professors do it because they don't want you to write all of your sentences, but I write all of mine. Was my presentation clear? Is the goal of a slide to help the audience understand? Yeah. Yeah. Let's give a good example. Yeah, all these check marks. Should I do less check marks? No. It's clear. These are really good questions. Do you have an interview soon?
I was just remembering, I have a classmate who literally he just write 1 word in the slide, and he talks for 3 hours using that 1 word. So it really shouldn't matter how many slides.
It shouldn't. I would argue for an international audience, that's a horrible idea.
That's true.
Do you trust everyone in the audience to be able to understand all of your sentences and your carry-on sentences and your connecting sentences? Very challenging. That turns into an IELTS listening test very fast.
He's a professor, so that's why.
Even worse. That's so hard. It's so hard to do that. It's okay to ramble and tell stories, but come on, core points need to be in writing. Yeah.
You mentioned that when we're writing the cover letter,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't repeat the things in resume, but I don't understand because the important is
Core points will be the same, but not copy-paste language. So if you talk about some data and the data is really important and you want to, a marketing campaign, 250,000 USD, and you want to mention that, just don't copy paste. Tell a story in a different way.
But keep the important things as well.
Yeah, yeah. Very good questions. Yeah.
Do you think it's okay to like take notes during the interview, or we should always ask in advance, like where we can do that?
To take notes in an interview? Yeah, bring a notebook, bring a pencil. Why not? And when they ask you a question, write their question down. Yeah? Just write it down. Okay, got it. Yeah, answer it. Shows you're a good, conscious person.
And should we ask in advance?
I don't see why. If they say, oh, please don't take any notes, say, oh, sure, no worries. I don't know why they would say, please don't take notes. That seems really silly. So I have a problem. In America, companies will ask 2 questions in one. Tell us about a time when you did this, and what were your 5 major learnings? They give you 2 questions, yeah? And I answer the first one, and then all the time I say, I'm sorry, I forget the second part of your question. Can you please repeat it? If I had a notebook, I wouldn't forget. Yeah? So I handle it well. I say, I'm sorry, I forget the second part. Or you say, can you please confirm that I've answered all parts of that question? Are you qualified to do a job if you get an interview? Are you qualified to do the job if you get an interview?
I guess so. I mean, the reason why they have an interview is to choose between the pool they have.
The pool of qualified applicants. They don't want to waste their time on somebody that's not qualified. So people often, they go to the interview with very low confidence. They're like, oh, I'm not going to get this job. I'm not that qualified. You have an interview. They want to hire you. They just need to see, are you the right person to be hired? You've already passed the test. So that's why personality and storytelling is so important. Yeah? If you just talk about your resume, you won't get the job. They can read your resume. Yeah? They can read your cover letter. You need more. I had a couple of, let me see if I can just blow through this. I'll give you these. These are like some vague sentences with some improvements if we had more time. Let me see. I had some bonus tips for applications that I think would be very helpful. We got a few minutes left. I'll be a little fast. Number your application files. Recently, I had to submit 10 files for one application. So resume was 01, and you can see here like 10, 07, 06, 04, 05, 03. Yeah? It helps them organize, and it also helps you confirm that you're submitting enough documents. The name for your file, resume PDF. You won't get an interview offer. I won't give you an interview offer. Antony Parnagoni, resume, whatever. NCCU, May 2025. Yeah, complete file names. I think I give some stuff. Assume the company will download all of your documents. If they search for your documents, will they be able to find it? If they type in Antony resume and you wrote resume, it's not coming up. Maybe with other people's resumes, and then they have to find yours. By opening the resume file, you don't get the job. So you have to write your name. Something like this. Antony Parnagoni cover letter, Google, May 2025. Antony Parnagoni professional letters or recommendation, May 2025. If you write bad file names, it shows a lack of attention to details. File names are important. Adding links to your cover letter or resume. I actually have this in mind, featured on Taiwan University websites. I'm very proud of it. Copy, paste, put it on my resume. Somebody had, was it you? You had some links?
Yes.
Had some links on it, very good. What were they to? The link was to?
My website or the LinkedIn.
Yep, website, LinkedIn, portfolio, branding pages, all good, all good. Here I had video introduction link and website. I think you should all make a professional introduction video. Just sit down with a chalkboard and say, hi everyone, my name's Anthony. I'm an English teacher in Taipei. I teach at these universities. I focus on this, this, and this. A fun part about living in Taiwan is this. I look forward to working with you too. End the video, put it on your resume. Doesn't have to be company specific. Your language ability may be what gets you the job. Don't wait to show off your good English. Don't wait for the interview to show them you're good at English. So the video introduction is a strong idea. Very strong idea. Shows you're an excellent communicator. Doesn't have to be high quality. It has to be good quality. That's it.